Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? I had to put it the other way because there is like rainwater all over there on the patio because it poured down rain all day in Miami today. Let me move this back a little bit so you guys can see me. How are you guys doing tonight? Oh, the table is lovely. A little bit of water. We just got home from going out to this gay bar in Miami called Twist that we typically go to when we're out down here. We're thinking about tomorrow night going to this drag show at the Palace Bar in South Beach because I think they have one at like 11:30. So we're thinking about maybe doing that tomorrow night. Even though it rained today, we had like such a great day. I got so burnt yesterday that I honestly did not care that we couldn't go to the beach today or the pool. I mean, I would have liked to have gone for a swim, but I was kind of like, I'm totally fine with not going to the beach or the pool today. So we got up and I don't even know what time I slept until. I probably slept until like noon. And we got a fan today. I'm so excited. Alex brought it in. He was like, look, we got a fan. And this is my new hat, but I'll talk about that in just a second. So anyway, we got up and Alex is like, I'm really, really hungry. He had gotten up and eaten the cheese quesadilla that I got for him last night. And I was like, okay, well, do you want to eat at the hotel? Like, where do you want to eat? And he was like, I don't care, we could do that, or we could go over to Lincoln Road and then we could do some shopping. And if you've never been to Miami, Lincoln Road is like this really long street and it's like closed off from traffic. So like the restaurants are in the middle and then on either side are the stores. It's really cool. Like the restaurant will have like an inside place, but then there's also outside seating. It's really cool. And you just walk and it's like, oh, probably like 5 or 6 blocks, like long blocks. And so I took a shower and we got changed and we went over to Lincoln Road and we were both so hungry that we sat down and we ate at this place right away it was called like Kansas City or Kansas Cafe or something. I can't remember what it was called. And we sat out there forever. It was really like, it had stopped raining at that point and it was just kind of like real cloudy and clear and stuff, or not cloudy and like overcast, but even though it wasn't clear, it wasn't like raining. And then it started raining later in the afternoon, but like as soon as we got in the Uber to go back to the hotel, it started pouring down rain. So anyway, we sat there and ate. Alex got chicken parmesan and I got fettuccine and a salad, and then they gave us some bread. It was so delicious. I could eat pasta, I feel like, all the time, which is probably why I'm, you know, need to lose some weight, but I love pasta so much. And then we went to Starbucks and we got coffee afterwards. Well, I got an espresso sitting there, and Alex had a beer, and it was just really nice. We just sat out there and we talked. There was like this squirrel that was like running up and down this tree next to us, and it was so funny because all these people were like taking pictures and videos, including myself. I put it all over my Instagram, and Alex is like, why are people so obsessed with this squirrel? And I was like, because they're not used to seeing like this squirrel like literally around. I mean, he was like underneath the tables and stuff trying to get food. It was really cute. And so then we left there and we went and got coffee at Starbucks, and they have a lot of the holiday mugs down here. I haven't seen any of the really cool tumblers, but they have a lot of the holiday mugs. And like they do have a lot of tumblers for like iced coffee and stuff, but they're different. They're more just like Christmas themed. Anyway, so then I was just thinking about like the sound of the traffic and stuff. It's interesting, like Alex and I were talking about this earlier because he was like, do you like the Fountain Blue where we're staying? And I said, I do. I said, but it's not South Beach. Like, this is such a totally different vibe. Like, this literally feels like being in a Vegas hotel on the beach, which I like. But South Beach feels a lot more like local. And I would also say more international, because when you're walking down the street, you see people from, you know, Germany and Colombia and Venezuela and France and, you know, the UK. You hear all kinds of different like languages and accents, and it's very cool. I haven't really experienced that here as much. It's mostly birthdays, bachelorette parties, and like fraternity guy weekends is what it seems like down here. But the hotel is beautiful. It's amazing. And I didn't know this. I was looking it up because a couple people like sent me messages about like why it's famous, and I still don't know. But there's pictures of Frank Sinatra literally everywhere. So Frank Sinatra has something to do with this hotel. I think he might have like written a song about it or something. I don't know. Or he used to perform here a lot. I have no idea. But there's like literally all these black and white pictures of Frank Sinatra everywhere. And but I looked it up, and after the credits in Goldfinger, the James Bond movie, it's like it like flies over the front of it, and then there's like an aerial view, and then it comes down and it goes to the pool, which the pool looks different now, but it's basically the same area. And then it flies right down, and James Bond is getting a back massage, and that's how the whole movie starts. It's very cool to see it. I'm like, oh my god, we're here, you know? So, but the hotel looks a lot different. Kind of it looks the exact same, like right there. It looks exactly what it looks like in the movie, so that was cool. And I'm not gonna vlog for a long time tonight either. I was just like looking at the thing like at 6 minutes, but because I'm tired. And I also, okay, so I started watching last night the Boulet Brothers Dragula, which like several years ago, I just took a side step off of what I was talking about, but anyway, several years ago, I did a video on my Peter Monn channel about underground drag races on YouTube, and I talked about Crystal Ball Diva's drag showdown, which is still going on, and she has one more episode for, I think it's the 3rd season. It's the finale episode, and I'm waiting for it to be posted because I love that show. She does such a great job with it, and she's so sweet, and I've talked to her a lot too. And then I talked about a couple others, Jake Yancey, who now does like RuPaul's Drag Race drama, and he also does some other drama too. He's really nice. It seems like I don't really know him that well, but I shot it out in the video, and he did one called Cutthroat Drag, or Cutthroat Drag Race. It was really well done. It was like really high quality. So, but the Boulet Brothers had started Dragula on YouTube, and so I started watching it like a couple years ago when they had their 1st season, and I liked it. Like I watched like half the 1st episode of season 1, and I liked it, but I just didn't keep on watching it. I don't know why. I was watching something else. I have no idea why. Because there's like a lot of these like underground drag races on YouTube, like RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's on YouTube. And theirs was very highly edited, and it was like a TV show. It is like a TV show. And so if you don't know who the Boulet Brothers are, they're like this couple that do drag, and they're like, they always dress the same, and it's very kind of like spooky drag. And they're like, I think they're like nightclub performers. They used to do a show, they used to do a nightclub thing once a month in Los Angeles called Dragula. And Valentina from RuPaul's Drag Race was one of the winners. And but anyway, so they host this show. They host this pageant contest like RuPaul's Drag Race called Dragula. And it's very spooky drag, so it's like monster looks and stuff like that. It is unbelievable, some of the makeup that these girls like put together. And so last night, now it's on Netflix, so season 1 is on Netflix. No, I think it's season 2 is on Netflix. And I started watching it last night, and I watched like 2.5 episodes, and I am hooked. Like, I am so hooked, you guys. Like, I sat out here and I just was like, oh my god, this is incredible. So I haven't really gotten into a TV show in a long time like that, so I'm really excited about it. It was fantastic. So anyway, we got Starbucks, and then we walked around. Alex wanted to go to Zara. Like, Zara's like his favorite store in the entire world, so whenever we're somewhere, especially Miami, my moon's over Miami, especially when we're in Miami, because they have Zara, he wants to go there. And Zara, if you've never been there, it's very much like skinny jeans and long t-shirts. It's very cool, but it's just not my style. It's not anything like that really like fits me or anything. So, I mean, it doesn't fit me, and if it does, it looks foolish on me. So, but anyway, so we walked along, and like Zara was like at the beginning where we went, and so we like went to like one of the first restaurants we came upon. And I wish I could remember the place it was called. It's called Kansas something. And it was Italian food, and it was like, they had like paella, it was like Spanish food as well. It's very cool. Our server was so nice. So if you ever go to this Kansas place, I can't remember, ask for Ricky. He was unbelievable. He literally, you guys had like 12 tables, including this one next to us. It was like a husband and wife and like maybe an aunt, and then they had like this 3 or 4-year-old that literally threw wrapped silverware at my head and like missed me like that. Like it went, and the parents looked at me and they're like, sorry. I was like I almost got taken out by your kid. And this guy was just like, he was fantastic, like handling all of that, and people were very needy out there and stuff, and he had like 12 tables and he was just handling it all. He was amazing. I have to say, like, it's interesting, I very rarely run across like really poor customer service anywhere. And if I do, I never really try to, like, I don't say much about it, like, you know, on my channels or whatever. Because you never know, like, when somebody's a waiter or a server, you know, like, I mean, sometimes I do, but I'm not a big complainer, like, in places when it comes to stuff like that, because you never know what that person's day is like. You know, you don't know that they haven't worked a double, or that, you know, they wanted to be at their friend's birthday party and they had to work instead, or they got some really bad news and still had to work. You never know. So I don't really blame it a lot on that. Or, you know, like my dad always said, you know, if you don't like your food, don't shoot the messenger. You know, or don't shoot, you know, don't get pissed at your waiter if you don't like your food. It's not the waiter's fault. So yeah, because like, okay, today they charge, like, food is expensive in Miami, and I got fettuccine, but I didn't get it with like, it had like shrimp and chicken and stuff in it, and that was $26. And so when he came, like, Alex noticed it on the bill, and so when he came, I was like, is there any way that you could, you know, like, is this still $26 even though I didn't get any chicken or shrimp or anything? He was like, oh yeah, no problem. Let me go talk to my manager. And they came back and they took like $7 or $8 off of it, which was really cool. So anyway, he was super nice though. And then we went to Starbucks and got coffee, and then we walked around. And then Alex's mom called. They like FaceTimed for a little bit. We were talking to her. And then she was saying that she was so happy with the video that we put together, or the presentation thing. She loved it. She was like, oh my God, it was so much fun, and thank you. And the video turned out perfect. She was really happy with it. Even though it had like this one picture that was 10 minutes long on there. She was like, oh, I just fast forwarded through it, it's fine. And then we came back around and we went in this one store, and it was called like Name Brand something, and it was so cool. They had like, when you walked in, they had like different sections, and it was all by like brand, but it was like these, somebody actually commented on my Instagram story or my vlog or something and said that they got on the website and they bought a jacket from there. So it would be like army jackets or like denim jackets, and they were like distressed, like they were vintage, the ones that I liked, and flannel shirts, but on the back they had like taken concert t-shirts from like the Doors and the Rolling Stones and the Who and stuff, and Queen, like vintage t-shirts, and they had put them like on the back of it. So like the front just looked like a jean jacket or like an army jacket with like paint splatters and stuff, and then on the back it had these, it was so cool. They were really expensive though. They were like, I almost got a flannel shirt, but the flannel shirts were $115, and I was like, I just can't, like that's a lot of money. So I didn't get anything, but it looks like a lot like the shirt that I got when I was at Horror Hound Weekend, that had the Stranger Things on the back of it. So anyway, I really like that concept. I think I could do something like that, make something like that. I thought it was cool. So anyway, yeah, I could just make my own instead of like, you know, I could go buy these like, you know, used flannel shirts and then put the things on the back of them because they are really cool. So anyway, we did that, and then we were walking like towards Zara, and we went into Urban Outfitters, and there was like, Alex was like, anything that I can buy here, I can buy in Indianapolis. And I was like, yeah, I feel the same way. I almost bought an AirPod case that was like sparkly. It was like rhinestone, not rhinestone, but like, it was like the word. It looked like crystal, like those Swarovski, why can't I think of the word right now? You know what I'm talking about, those like Swarovski crystals or whatever, but it wasn't. It was like cheap. It was like 18 bucks, but I didn't buy it. I was like, I'll never use that. And then I wanted one that was like kind of like a funky plastic, but they were like purple, you know, blue and orange and yellow and green, and I almost got the orange one because I thought it was kind of fun. If they had had a blue one, I would have got it. They didn't have a blue one. They had like Did I say blue? They didn't have blue. They had like green and orange and yellow. So they were just like rubber like containers that you put the AirPod thing in it. I love my AirPods. So anyway, really good buy. If you're looking to buy a present for somebody for Christmas and they don't have AirPods, like, and like it's somebody that you want to spend some money on, totally worth it. Like Alex and I both use our AirPods all the time. He like literally just walks around and talks on the phone with them on at home and, you know, when we're out places or on vacation or whatever. So it's starting to clear up. There's stars out. There's very little clouds. So anyway, then we went into, we were walking out and there was like this hat store and it was like really small and thin. And Alex goes, oh, I want to go in here because they have, he loves those kind of like, those, I think they're called bowler hats or whatever. And he likes the big, like they're like felt kind of material, you know, like Joanne from like Lady Gaga. And so I looked up and it was Gorin Brothers. And I was like, oh my God, that's the hats that I've ordered on Amazon that say like stuff on them. When I have one that says like wolf and whatever. And some of them are funny and say like there's one that's a rooster and it says cock on it. So anyway, like if you go into like gay stores, they always have that hat. So I walked in there and I went, and you can't really see it. I actually did my hair earlier. It kind of looked nice. But anyway, this is my second outfit of the evening. I had a different shirt on. I know I have the polka dot shirt on again tonight. But I had a different shirt on that I bought at Macy's. And I wore my shoes and another pair of jeans. So anyway, if you can see, it is corduroy. This is corduroy. And it says Jackass on it. And it's like the perfect trucker hat. I was talking to the girl in there. I was like, I had like a really hard time with trucker hats like fitting. And she goes, that's brand new. Like that's what we just got like those in. Those are like, or how did she say it? She's like, those are like just like the brand new ones or something. And I was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this hat. It's so nice. It was like the only corduroy one they had. Well, they had a black one too, but I didn't like the black corduroy. And I love corduroy anything, and I especially like in a hat. Do you remember the blue icon corduroy hat? I wish I still had that. I'm so pissed I left that on that plane. Anyway, I was gonna make a joke, but people ask me my biggest regret. That's like one, I mean, in the last year, that's one thing I definitely regret. That and leaving that North Face coat in LA. And I don't guess I don't really regret it. It was just stupid, you know. But I'm very careful now when I get off a plane to make sure I have everything of mine. But I guess it's not really a regret. Anyway, and then we went to Zara and Alex bought like a pair of jeans and a couple shirts and a sweater or something like that. And we also went into All Saints, and I've really never gone into that store before. We have a friend of ours, he and his wife, like they buy everything from All Saints. They always go, when they go to Vegas, they always buy like everything from All Saints. And the guy in there, they had like a leather jacket. It was really nice, like leather biker jacket. The leather was so soft, looked so good. And it was $550, which is expensive, but I didn't think it was expensive for like a high-end brand. I thought it would be like $2,000, you know, because you go into like Diesel or what's the place we went to in we were in Las Vegas and they had a leather jacket. But anyway, some of those jackets are like $2,000, $3,000, you know. And he said they were like the sister company to John Barbatos, which I didn't know. So anyway, so then we went down to Zara and Alex bought that stuff, and then he was like, do you want to keep on walking around South Beach? What do you want to do? And I said, well, because we were supposed to go and have dinner with our friend tonight, her boyfriend, but she took her exams all day today, and so she just was totally exhausted. Plus, she has to be there at 6 tomorrow. Alex found out he doesn't have to be there till 9. So, but we didn't find out that we weren't gonna have dinner with her until we got back, and we knew we were gonna have dinner early because they had to be there at 6 tomorrow morning. And so we got back here to the hotel, and we were just kind of like hanging out and stuff. It was just such a fun day. We got to just like, I don't know, it was just so nice just to hang out and stuff. We got back, and so he was talking to her, and she was like, I'm really sorry, I'm just like exhausted. Like she had been literally all day at this like exam. So she's a dental surgeon, and she's like retaking her boards, like that's what it is. And so anyway, so she was like, can we just meet tomorrow, then tomorrow night we can do something, because I'll be done with it, we can celebrate and whatever. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I was like, I would not want to do anything, you know, if it was my board, so I was studying for and stuff like that. So anyway, the other thing is, like last time that I said this, a lot of people said in the comment sections they thought it was that like the fact that when I was down here she didn't want to do something, they were like, oh, that wasn't very nice, whatever. I didn't say this on here, but I'm gonna say it now just because she's a really good person. She had a surgery like a month ago, and she's not healing as quickly as she thought she would, and she literally struggles to even like walk sometimes. And so that was what was going on when I was down there, and she was really tired. She's like, I just don't feel like it, whatever. So I don't want anybody to think that like my friend's a shitty person. She's not. She's actually like a really, really great person, and she just wasn't feeling 100% when I was here last time. So anyway, so they're doing this thing tomorrow morning. She has to be there at 6. Alex has to be there at 9, and so he was like, well, we could go out tonight now since we didn't go out last night. He was pissed that he slept through the night. Like today, he was like, I am so pissed. I feel like I wasted a night in Miami. I'm like, well, I had fun. I sat on the patio and watched Dragula, and I ordered food, and I had a good night. So, except for finding out about my friend, which I'll talk about in a second. But, so he was like, I want to do something tonight. So we went out to dinner, but it was still raining and early evening. So I laid down and took a nap because we got this fan. I was like, I won't lay down and take a nap. So I made a video when I got back, and he was talking to his mom again because she was out at some birthday party. And so then he was watching Cable Girls, and so he took a shower and got ready out here. And then I took a nap for like an hour, and then we went to this restaurant here in the hotel. The Live nightclub is in the Fontainebleau. I didn't know that. And it was packed tonight. Like, it was crazy down there. So we went to this restaurant called Pizza Burger. And it reminds me of Holstein's at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas. And it's like pasta, pizza, cheeseburgers, and it's like, and then they have these milkshakes that you can get with alcohol or not alcohol. And so I got this house pasta that was delicious and it had like a tomato basil sauce to it. It was so, I got pasta twice today. We got back here and I said, oh, Alex, I can get room service and I can get pasta fini because I want some more pasta. But anyway, it was so good. And then Alex, you can make your own salad. It was really cool. It's like this menu that you went in and you like checked off what you wanted. And so he made like this, it's called a market salad. He had a fun time doing it. But okay, so we were sitting in this booth, and it was like really for like 4 people, and it was like curved like this. And we were like in this section where it was literally just 2 tables looking at each other. Okay, it was like 4 people over here, and Alex and I, and we're like facing them. Okay, can you imagine? So, well, I was sitting like on the end, and he was sitting like right here, so we were kind of like talking to each other. But these 4 women came and they sat down, and we started talking to them, and they were so friendly. 3 of them were from Atlanta, and 1 of them was from Chicago, and they were here for the one's 50th birthday. They were so hilarious, and they were so nice, and I was like, you ladies look so pretty tonight. They were all dressed up and stuff, and they were like, well, you guys are pretty handsome yourselves, and they were so nice. Okay, so we're sitting there, we're talking to one of the women was vegan, and she heard me saying that I was a vegetarian, so we were talking about that, and Alex was asking her some questions about why she decided to go vegan and whatever, and she said that she was lactose intolerant. It's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, and she said she was lactose intolerant, so it was like an easy transition for her or whatever, and she said she felt so much better, she felt lighter and whatever. And so we couldn't believe, first of all, that they were like 50. They didn't look anything like it. They looked fantastic. And not that there was anything wrong with 50. We were talking, actually, I was telling them that like my mom said that she loved her 50s because she just didn't give a shit anymore. And this one, that was her birthday. She's like, she goes, I just turned 50 today, and that's how I feel already. I don't give a shit anymore. And so, but they whip out their phones, you guys, and they're playing, what's that game? I think it's like Apples to Apples or whatever, but on your phone, like where you like go like this. So it'll say like, what was one of them? I'm trying to think of like the ones that, like reading a newspaper, and then so like she's holding it up, right, and like the other 3 are trying to guess what it is. And so we started guessing it like 2, and so the one woman was like, you guys have to play with us, and we're like, no, like we don't want to interrupt her time. And she was like, no, they're all like, yes, you have to play with us. So we started playing Apples to Apples with these women in the restaurant. It was so much fun, and they were just so sweet. And so yeah, And then Alex wanted to go out to Twist tonight, which is the gay club. So he was like, we can just stay here and go to Live. I was like, no, that is a packed club. Like, let's go. And so we went to Twist, and which whenever we get there, we always get there too early because I think it's open till like 4 or 5, and it's usually dead. And we got there tonight, and it was packed. Like, you could not walk at all. So Alex got a drink, and I got a Red Bull, and I literally, like, I started drinking, and I was like, I remember why I hate Red Bulls. And it just, I'm not a Red Bull fan. Like, when we go to music festivals, I drink Red Bulls, but I don't usually, like, I don't really like them. And I remember tonight why I didn't like it. Well, I got a sugar-free Red Bull. So anyway, we were like walking around, and we were dancing and stuff. We had a great time, it was fun. And I'm standing like up against this wall, and Alex is like dancing right in front of me, like 3 feet away. And these two guys walk through. And this guy like stopped me, and he was like, and I go, what? And he goes, are you Peter Monn? And I go, yeah. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I watch all of your videos. And he turned to his friend, he goes, this is who I'm always talking about. He goes, this is who I watch. He goes, I watch all of your videos. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And he was like, YouTube is my life. It's like literally all I watch. And his friend was like, yeah. His friend was like not as excited as he was. Like, not at all. And his friend's like, yeah, all he ever talks about is YouTube. And he was like, he just like stood there, and he was like, I cannot believe you are here. He was like, Peter Monn, the YouTuber, is like right in front of me. And I go, yeah, it's me. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I watch everything that you and your husband do. And so he turned around, he's like, where's your husband? I go, he's right there. And he goes, you're Peter Monn's husband. So anyway, he doesn't have any social media because of like something that he does, like what he does. And he was like, if you want to post a picture, I was like, okay. So Alex took a picture of us on my phone, and I'm going to post it on Instagram tomorrow. But he was so nice. His name was Warren. So Warren, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. He and his friend were from Barbados, and he just was like, I mean, he could not believe it, you guys. And he said to me at the end, he said, I looked at him and I said, you know, I couldn't have heard that at a better time, honestly. Like, my friend's passing today, like, caught me at different times, if that makes sense. Like, I was sitting outside while Alex was in Zara, and I was, like, texting with a friend of mine that was, like, her best friend. And I just kind of, like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird when you lose a contemporary, you know? And, I just like was sitting on the curb out there in front of Zara. I just like bawling my eyes out. Her viewing and funeral are like the middle of the week. So, but anyway, I think it makes you question, you know, like your own life. When somebody, like when my mom was sick and passed, and when my aunt, you know, did, I really questioned a lot, like, what, like my life, like what I'm doing with my life. And he looked at me tonight, and he said, you have no idea, like all I do is, like he was real serious at the end. He was like, you have no idea, like all I do is watch YouTube. And he said, I don't think that you guys, like, well, are you ready for this? So he looked at Alex and he goes, do you know what it's like for me to meet your husband? He goes, it's like meeting Brad Pitt. It's like meeting a celebrity. I go, oh, I'll take that. I'll take Brad Pitt. Because I know I'm nobody's Brad Pitt. But anyway, he looked at me and he said, he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, I just want you to know what you do for all your subscribers. He was like, you have no idea. He was like, how much, like, you're, like, me watching your videos and you just posting videos on all your channels, like, how much it, like, helps me. And he was like, I don't think the YouTubers really get what they do for their subscribers. And it was weird, because, like, when Alex came up, he was like, I'm a subscriber. Like, I subscribe to all of his channels. Like, he kept on saying that. Like, he was proud of it, and it, like, was such a cool moment, kind of. because he was like, people must come up to you all the time. And I was like, I never, literally, like, I said it happened yesterday and it happened like now. But like, he goes, am I the only person in the club? I was like, nobody knows who I am. It's, you know, whatever. And it was so nice. He was just so sweet, you know, and it's weird to me because like when I get messages and people are like, would you please do, like I put these questions out for doing like a Q&A, because Alex and I are going to do a Q&A probably tomorrow. And I always get like a ton of questions like, are you going to ever do a meet and greet? Are you ever going to do a meet and greet? When people are like, I would die if I met you. Like, oh my God, I would love to meet you. Like, it feels weird. Like, just imagine if you were, like, you're sitting where you're sitting right now and people were begging you to, like, to meet you. Like, it feels weird. It's nice. It feels really good. But when somebody, like, says it to you, like, in person, it doesn't feel real. You know, and when he said to me, he was like, you have no idea what you do. You know, like you guys, and he said it like as an overall thing about YouTubers, you know, like you have no idea what you guys do for us. You know, it's just really cool. It's very nice, you know. He said it in a way that I like hadn't really, I mean, I hear you guys say such wonderful things to me. It's just like, I mean, you really stroke my ego, let me tell you, okay? Like it's really, really, you guys say amazing, nice things. But like literally, and I'm not saying this to like demean myself, but like I'm no different than anybody. I'm literally just, like that's why I say I'm a dude with a camera. I'm literally just some guy that makes videos on a camera. My life is no different than really anybody else's, you know? And so for somebody to be like shocked like crazy and like literally like lost his shit over meeting me. And then I think about like these YouTubers that have like millions and millions of subscribers, and I like when you see like, you know, the Jeffree Star or Shane Dawson like opening, it's like all of these people like literally like, I think you kind of start getting it, you know? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking about like Will and RJ from Shep 689, and I always talk about them because they're the reasons why I started vlogging. And my vlog is so different than what they did because they just literally showed like 10 minutes of their life every day. From start to finish, they would like carry the camera around with them, and they would always end it with them in bed and stuff, and they're like divorced now and whatever, but it makes me sad. They were such a neat couple. And, but I'm sure things happen, you know. And I would watch them like every day. Like I would like, if by like 5 o'clock their video wasn't posted, I'd be like, what's going on? What happened? Why isn't their video posted? Like seriously. And they did it for 7 years, and I remember when it just like they announced that they weren't going to be vlogging anymore, and I was like devastated. I was like, but like I watch you every day, like don't you get it? Like you're literally a part of my life. Like, so I don't know, it was really nice. And I'll tell you what else was nice. I felt cute tonight. I know I don't look so cute right now, but anyway. I wore these Levi's that I forgot that I had that still fit, and I rolled them up like a big cuff. And then I wore these, I got these gray, did I show them on here? I don't know if I did, these gray Air Force Ones that have like gum colored soles, and they're really cute. And I had never worn them before, and of course I wore them, and I did not get blisters this time because I was like, I was like, no. What did he say? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get them. But anyway, so we were like walking through this bar. It's huge. It's like, they have like, we didn't even go into like the stripper lounge. They have like a stripper lounge. We didn't even go in there tonight. We went, they like this room where they play like all Latino music, and then like a dance club music bar, and then like a pop room, like where they play pop music. That's where I met Warren. And some other rooms, like a bar downstairs. It's just like very subdued. And I literally, you guys, I got hit on so much tonight. It was crazy. Like literally when we were walking out the door, this guy, and like, I'm like, okay, I need to lose all this and whatever. This guy literally like went right past me, and he went like got right in my face, and he was like, woof, like that. He was like, woof, and I was like, which is like in the gay community, it's like, damn, like, you know, daddy, you look good. I was like, he was like, woof. was like, and he was like 6'1" and like muscular and like probably, you know, 30. I was like, damn, okay. So I guess I still have it a little bit. But we had a good time. Alex and I danced a lot tonight. We had so much fun dancing, and I haven't like gone to a gay club and danced like in a club for a long time, so it was really, really fun. And I was thinking, so if he's watching this vlog, which I'm sure he's not, but y'all go give him some love. So Danny, who has a channel called Woofy Socks, he lives like down here somewhere. And, or did they move? I think they moved to Colorado, but I think maybe they moved back down here, I'm not sure. But anyway, I always like, whenever I'm in Miami, I always think like, oh, I should have like, you know, kind of said like, hey, people are always like, would you meet up with like people, like they say you're fans. Like I never think like that word feels very right with me, but anyway, I'm like, yeah, absolutely I would, you know? So, anyway, that was fun, and then we came back and Alex literally went right to bed because he's like, I have to get up tomorrow. And I was like, well, I'm gonna vlog. And he's like, why don't you vlog throughout the day? And I'm like, oh, you know what? That's a genius idea. Like, I wish I had thought of that 3 years ago. I go, well, I did yesterday, but today I didn't. And he was like, oh yeah. I said, because yesterday I wanted to like, you know. So, I talked to some people about my friends passing. Tanya talked to her daughter, I guess. I sent her a message too. I've cried so much in the last 24 hours or whatever about it, however long it's been. And so I used to go out to lunch a lot with her and her best friend. It was like the three of us, and we would go out to lunch, you know. So I texted her best friend and I said to her today, I said something like, hey, I just, you know, I heard about her passing, and I just wanted you to know how much I miss you, and I can't imagine losing my best friend, I said, and I want you to know, like, I'm thinking of you, and so she messaged me back, and I said, let's go and have lunch soon. She would like that, I think, you know, to like keep up the tradition. And she messaged me back and she was like, it was really sudden, Peter. She was like, apparently what happened is, okay, so she's been on like so many different kinds of like medical regimens throughout the year. She was so tired. She just was like, she was just tired of fighting. A lot of people have said that I've, you know, talked to her or whatever. And apparently she went into liver failure. One of my friends today told me that you don't actually die of cancer, you die, like, a lot of times, like, if you're on chemo, you die from, like, I don't know, like, from chemo, you don't die from cancer. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that, but, so she went into liver failure because of some of the medicines that she was on. And so, like, I guess, like, 2 weeks ago, the doctor said, we've got to stop the chemo. And she said, okay, but what does that mean? And he goes, you need to stop the chemo. And you need to get your affairs in order. And you need to talk to your husband and your kids. Which I can't even imagine, like, having that conversation, you know, like. And then I was like, I think a lot of this today is like about my aunt too, you know, because I think about that with my, like, my mom never really like knew, like, at the end, like, my mom had no clue, like, by the time that it was so far, like, it was too far to, like, she was in a coma, so, like, she didn't know really what was going on. But, like, my aunt knew. Like, my aunt knew it was bad, you know? And, because she was moving into hospice. Like, my aunt died, like, literally the hour she got moved into hospice. Like, they went in the other room. They got her home. They got her into bed, and her, you know, nightgown and stuff. She wanted to be in her own bed, and they got her, you know, in her own bed, and then Caroline went in the other room, and she was signing, like, the paperwork with, like, the hospice nurse. And before they left, she went back in to check on my aunt. My aunt had passed, you know, and, like, I just don't, I can't even imagine, like, knowing. So apparently the doctor says you need to get your affairs in order, you need to let your husband know what your wishes are, and you need to sit down and talk to your kids, because she still has, even though her other son passed, she has another son and then her daughter that I'm close with. And apparently she was surrounded by like literally all of her friends and family that like were there yesterday, like her closest friends and family, which is like, so this woman and like 4 other women were like, they had started this group like 10 years ago, and they have like a name and everything. Like I don't want to say what it is because it's like private, but it's like they just were very spiritual. It had nothing to do with like church or religion or anything like that, but it just had to do with like, let's just like all lean on each other, and they became like best friends. And these women are all so amazing, and they traveled together all over, and they like did lunches and dinners together, so they were all there yesterday, and like her sister-in-law and her kids, and we were good friends, but we weren't, I mean, we weren't like that close of friends. It wasn't like, you know, but I've known her for so long. Like I was telling Tanya today, I was like, I literally have known her for like, because Tanya knows her daughter, and I was like, I feel like I think I've known her for like, I was trying to do the math, just like forever. And so anyway, and you guys, like all of the things you said in the vlog last night were just absolutely incredible. The overwhelming amount of love and support that you sent me, I really, really appreciate. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. So thank you. I don't know if it was on this vlog or if it was on my Peter Monn channel, but somebody named Annette kept on saying, notice me, notice me, notice me. So Annette, if it's the vlog, I screenshotted it. How are you, Annette? But thank you guys for all the really kind words of encouragement and support. It was really nice to read that today, you know. You know, and my friend said to me, like her best friend said, Peter, she was ready to go. Like she wouldn't want us to be sad. She was like, she lived life. She was ready to go. And so I think, you know, I'm somebody that believes in holding on to the memories and remembering the memories and remembering the good times and respecting those wishes, you know. And but I did do this thing last night that I sat down here after I got done vlogging, and I took some kind of, you know, I took a couple moments. I just kind of talked to her, you know, and that's kind of what I do, you know. And then in my phone, I wrote like this note out, and I put like 5 things that I wanted to take from this experience of her friendship and her passing. And I wrote down, you know, like, when am I happy? And I'm gonna work on this when I get home. When am I happiest in life? You know, like being with my dogs, being with my husband, traveling with my husband. That's just being goofy with each other, which today we were so goofy and flirty with each other. It was just such a nice day with us. And then number 2, it was like, what things would I be upset at the end of my life that I hadn't done? Not necessarily bucket list things, but things that I want to do in my life, achieve or see or experience, you know? And number 3 was, am I spiritually fit? Because that's important to me, personally, in my world, you know, that I want to be spiritually fit. And 4 was, I can't remember what the 4th one was. It's all on my phone, which is charging right now. But the 5th one was, what would my perfect life look like? Because, you know, I think like, when people in my life pass, I have to remember. And I do use the word passing because I like the idea of passing on to something else or somewhere else. And I believe in that with a soul. We each have souls, but I want to take something from their life. I don't want their life to just been like, we had great memories, that was it. Like I want their life to have taught me something. And she was somebody that, when faced with finding out that she had cancer, changed her life drastically. Like, changed it. Like, okay, I'm on borrowed time. I want to do what I want to do with my life. Like, I want to do things that make me happy. And so I really sat down and kind of wrote that out last night of, okay, you know, like I always say, like I feel like I have such an amazing life, and I feel so blessed for having the life that I do. Oh, I know what the other one was. What am I doing to contribute positively to the world? And, you know, like to ask myself, what more could I do? There's always 100 million things more that I could be doing, you know, to positively affect the world around me. So that's what I did with that last night. Alex was such a sweetheart through all of it. He didn't, I think he may have met her once or twice, but he didn't really know her. But he knows her daughter. Everybody knows her daughter. And I have like this like little zit here. I thought I just like picked it, and I was like, if it's bleeding, I'm gonna be pissed. But she was a pretty incredible person, you know. I've had some really great men in my life, like my father and, you know, my sponsors and just some friends of mine that have really taught me, like, about what, you know, like, they've just taught me some great lessons in life. But I feel so blessed to have had, like, sister mother types in my life, you know. I've had some really phenomenal women, some really strong women, some strong women that are really, I think, teach me strength through vulnerability. That the perception of weakness or the perception of being vulnerable is really more a strength. That the perception of, you know, like, vulnerability is really more strength than it is a weakness. I think we live in a society where women feel more comfortable showing their emotions. I think men are often judged for it. I think that, you know, men, and generally, like, this is a generalization, but I think, you know, feel like to cry or to get emotional is weakness. Which, if you strip away the constraints of gender, you know, I think, which I do think the experience of the female experience is different than the male experience. Not better, not worse, it just is different. I mean, I truly believe that, you know, like, I mean, you know, the majority of my friends are women. 99% of my friends are women. So I can't even tell you how many situations I've been in where I'm like, just because I'm standing there as a man, whether I'm gay or not, like, women are treated so completely different. I mean, I see it all the time. I'm like, this is such crazy BS. Like, I cannot believe we live in a world where this still is happening, you know? But I think that what is right and what is true are never the same thing. And I think, you know, that there's a lot of things in this world that aren't right, but they still happen. But I've just learned so many lessons from my female friends, and I just feel blessed for all the people that I have in my life, you know. My circle is not large. You know, and I have like a close circle of people that are really, really my close friends. And then I would say I have a close circle around that of people that are like close acquaintance. I wouldn't even say acquaintance, close friends, but I just don't see them on a regular basis. She would have been one of those people, I think. you know, and then I have a closer group around that of like people that I know from like meetings and stuff, but like I don't talk to like really outside of that, or you know, whatever, but they're still like people that are really important in my life. I just feel so blessed to have had met so many, you know, amazing people. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now, and I'm gonna watch Dragula and put on my pajamas. So anyway, I hope you guys are having, what is tomorrow, Sunday? I hope you guys are having an amazing, I wish, today I said to Alex, I go, where do you want to go eat? He goes, Patashu. I go, well, we're in Florida, so there's a million places that we can go here, okay? Anyway, he was so hungry today when he woke up. And I was like, they charged me full price for those cheese quesadillas, and there was no sour cream or guacamole, and she asked me if I wanted to add on jalapenos for extra. And I think I got charged for them, and there was none of that. It was just cheese quesadillas, but they were still pretty good. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Make the most of your life. Do something today that will make you look back on it. Be like, that was a good day. That was a really good day. Today was a good day. We had a great day today. And we made the most out of it, even though it rained the whole day. And it was kind of pretty, you know, being in Miami through the rain. So, I don't know. I think it's making the most of whatever you're given, you know. We do with what we're given. I had one of my mentors say that to me years and years ago. We do with what we're given. And I believe that, you know. She was like, what did you want to do when you were in high school? This was when I was getting my master's degree, one of my mentors. She said, what did you want to do when you were in high school? And I said, I wanted to be a fashion model. I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I also want to be a fashion model. And she said, why aren't you? Or why didn't you? And I said, because I'm 5'10". I said, I wanted to be a runway fashion model. And she said, why didn't you? And I said, because I'm like 5'10" and a half, and to be a supermodel, you have to be like, or a fashion supermodel. She said, where I jumped with that. To be like a fashion model on a runway for a man, you have to be like 6'1". And she goes, well, we do with what we're given. And I thought, you know what, that is so true, you know. And we do. Or we sit and complain, or we make the most of what we have, you know. Like Alex's mom always says, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. I think that kind of applies to a lot. So anyway, let's make the most of our day. Let's just enjoy it and have a great day, right? And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look in the mirror every single day and do your affirmations and say you are valuable, you are worthy, you are important, you are loved, and I love you. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the kind words and sentiments you guys left last night. It was so nice. And yeah, oh, and most importantly, make sure that you let somebody else know how important they are to you in your life. And Tanya texted me today, and she sent me a video of Pee Pee. It was so cute, because she knows how much I miss the dogs when I'm gone. And so she and I were texting back and forth about my friend, and I said, I just want you to know how much I love you and I appreciate you. And even though we say it all the time to each other, it's like, sometimes that means a little bit more, you know? Anyway. So, let somebody know. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya! Love ya!